are all in the ICRA best practices class, so they are done with the program today, right? So we're just going to have a little discussion here about some of the things that they've experienced, try to give you guys a little bit of a positive feedback loop of what's going to happen over your next 3-ish, 4 years, right? So
2, Empire and Alliance.
cool.
I've worked for 1, United Door and Die.
Cool.
I think maybe like 4 or 5.
Cool.
4, E&K, Adjustable, and then John Burns.
Just 1, Rock Industrial.
Cool.
5.
Done 2, Chicago Commercial Insulation and Systems Unlimited.
Cool.
Only 1, Rockwell Industries.
I've been with the same one the whole time, Manning Johnson.
I worked with 3, FH Passion, Walsh, and McHugh.
I also just worked with one Andy Johnson.
Cool. All right. So you see that some students do make it all 3 to 4 years with just one contractor, but others work multiple, right? So for those of you that did work multiple, right, just go back through the line, right? What was the longest time off of work that you had between any of your contractors?
Me?
Yep.
I have not recently.
Right. Yeah, you were with one, so right. So back to Jones.
Let me see. Longest, maybe 3 weeks.
Okay.
I've been with the same one, but maybe a week at longest.
Okay.
Same one, I've been here for 4 months working back.
I changed companies, and it was like 2 months before I found a job.
I think my longest was 3 months.
Probably just 2 weeks for me.
2 months. 3 to 4 months, maybe.
Like a day here and there. Maybe like 3 weeks.
So 3 weeks.
Right. So now if we could just go back down the line, right? So what did you do to find work if you did switch companies, right? So some of you stayed with the same company, work just got slow, they told you, hey, it's gonna be a couple weeks, it might be a month, right? So for those of you that switched companies, what did you do to find work with the other company that you switched to? Again,
So I reached out to friends or people I used to work with.
Okay.
I reached out to a foreman and it's got me right in basically. Reach out to friends, go to your local meeting, talk to guys there, all that good shit.
Yeah, about the same, past coworkers, go to your local meetings.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, you just had time off in between,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay.
Coworkers and other classmates gave me numbers.
Network, right? And y'all see, hear the theme of kind of networking, right? That helps a lot, right?
I talked to a lot of people. I ended up just getting by the local, and they got me in.
I just kept getting into my local and then contacting my foremans to get me back in, and when work came back up, then they hired me back.
Just talk to guys that are local, or maybe even reach out to national, because sometimes there's travel work going on.
When I needed work, I went to the business agent at my local. They gave me some numbers, I called, and I was right back to work.
I mean, I haven't been sat, but I would just recommend Thursday pretty much.
Cool. All right. So what was the worst job that you've done in your time, right? So again, going back, right? Like what's one of the dirtiest, most physical, right? Like what's the thing that you got home from work and you're like, oh man, what am I doing here, right? Is this really what I want to make a career out of? Okay.
We were doing ensemble ceiling, and we were putting rock wool, like you know, like the Z-frame,
Yeah.
right over here.
Mhm.
That was probably the worst day.
Okay.
I do concrete, so I was in Columbus, Ohio. We did a footing for a hospital. In the wintertime, it's cold, it's muddy. You go home dirty every single day. So I was down there like, man, is it worth it? So it's hard work, but it's worth it. So concrete's dirty, and it's outside. It's cold.
We were doing exterior framing on a job, and for maybe like 6-7 months during the winter, it was outside, raining, snowing, muddy every day. Every day at the end of the day, I'd get into my car and I have to put beach towels down so I wouldn't destroy my car.
For me, we were demoing this for remodel work and everything with there's cockroaches all over the place and
I did windows for the start of my first year in the winter. So you're ripping out windows that are almost 100 years old, taking out all the insulation, and then it's still cold, man. You're opening all the windows, so there was just a lot of cold, a lot of wind. Chicago is just this only wind all the time, so it sucked, but got through it.
For me, it was doing scaffold last year, and I was at 100 feet high, and I didn't want to, because I was just scared of heights. So,
Perfect.
I had to build a scaffold inside a warehouse with like 20 foot by 14 foot. In the middle of the summer, it was like 90 degrees outside. It was like 103 inside the warehouse. So hot. It was awful.
Dude, all those CTA jobs, they really suck, especially doing like the renovations. You're all up in the ceiling, you get the bumps, peeing everywhere.
I don't know. I've been pretty clean most of the time. But I guess I did a little scaffolding earlier in the year, getting inside those furnaces and boilers, little maybe 2x2, 3x3 square, squeezing in. You get dirty, but you're wearing your suit, so it's not really dirty. Yeah. But I did work for a different company 2 years ago, and that replacing panels on top of a Ashley Furniture warehouse. In the middle of the summer, I think it was like 115. It was horrible, real hot. You had to climb like 30 feet of ladders to get up there. But yeah, other than that, regular solar that we're doing now in these fields, it'll rain, it'll get muddy, but you dress for that. Get your muck boots on, bring some extra pants, maybe, not really, but it's not bad.
I'd say when you're on one of the big jobs downtown and you have to insulate everything, and you're insulating for a month at a time, that sucks.
I was in Madison, Wisconsin, framing a roof during the winter. Felt like it was -degree degrees, and I didn't wear enough layers. I was dying.
All right, cool. So a bunch of the guys from this group were on the other side of the table a few years ago when they were in their first classes, right? So, right, we asked a question to the group that was completing back when, they were completing. So now that this group is completing, I'm gonna ask the same question of you guys. You're just gonna have a different perspective since you're completing now. Okay, so what's something that you've learned in this 3 to 4 years that you wish you knew back when you were in the first or second class? All right, so can I start back with you, Alejandro?
I would say attitude.
What kind of attitude?
Having good attitude. I noticed a lot of people, especially apprentices, they think they know it all. And they're always, they act like they're journeymen already. And don't be afraid to talk to people. I'm very quiet. The more people you talk to, the more people like you.
I'd say I wish I got in sooner. I didn't get in when I was older or anything, but I wish, after working all these years, you learn to respect people, especially your elders, and you listen to people, coming up from like Mr. Know-It-All to hold up, slow down, and you learn, you see something different when you slow down and listen to all these other people. So I'd say just have a really good attitude and just soak in as much as you can.
Yeah, I'd say let your word speak for itself. Building off of that. Don't talk of this big game before you get a job. Yeah.
Yeah. Going off of what they're saying, attitude, have a good attitude. You're gonna meet a lot of different people, and they're not all gonna like you. Some of them are gonna hate you. Don't let that hit you down. Don't let it bring you down. As soon as you let work affect your personal life, you lost. Keep that at work. Once you're at home, forget about it.
Yeah, I agree with that one. And then those CSAP classes, those have kept me working for sure. Doing concrete, I did the floating stairs, that kept me working at adjustable. And then doing like the robotic total station, that's been keeping me working at my company right now, so very valuable.
I just had fun with school. My first week I was nervous because everyone was super strict. But when I got here, the teachers were all cool and all have fun, all easy to talk to, so just had fun with school.
Kind of interesting, the teachers try and help you. Huh?
Yeah.
Right? The rules seem restrictive, but ultimately we have to get everybody prepared to work, right? So that's why we're a little bit strict on the rules, because you're gonna be going out to a job site, we want that contractor to know that you're worth the money that they're paying you, right? So that's why the rules can seem a little bit restrictive, but
They're also a lot more lax than they have been.
right, and they're not hard to follow, right? Just showing up with the tools required on the comeback letter, making sure your homework's done for the comeback, right? And then just completing the homework and assignments throughout the week, right? Okay.
I would say get people's numbers right away rather than waiting till the last minute of your job. That helps a lot.
I'd say, you never know when you're gonna need someone's help, no matter who it is, electrician, plumber, whatever. Just always be respectful and nice, because, you could be carrying a pallet, maybe you gotta go up a hill or something like that. And, the electrician that you fucking saw in the morning, said hello to, he'll give you a hand, like, it's a brotherhood. No matter what it is, we're all here together, gotta finish the job. So sometimes you just never.
For me, I wish I would have networked early and like my first year apprenticeship, and not only with your classmates, but like on the job site. There's just one company out there on your job site, so just network.
You never know completely what environment you're going to be working in, so it's worth it to do something like keep a 5-gallon bucket in your car with extra clothes, boots, raincoat, pants, jacket.
Well, prior to this program, I'd say I had a very reactive personality. So going through this program and just working in the field, you're gonna have to swallow your ego, be humble, and just listen. And a lot of guys like to yell, can't even get mad at them because they're teaching. And that's it.
I would say a big thing is, like, the people you work with is usually like the same people, so just keeping a good relationship with them is always important.
So something that Ethan mentioned, just show of hands, how many of y'all have been yelled at on the job at some point? Right, so, right, it depends how you're gonna react to that criticism, right? Some people might be doing it just because that's the way their personality is. Some is because when they were learning as an apprentice or just starting out in the industry, they got yelled at, so they think that they need to turn around and do that to you. But now this group that's completing, right, hopefully when they go into their career and they have some of you younger apprentices that are just starting out, hopefully they're not going to yell at you as bad, right? So now, for those of you guys that are in your first year classes, I'm really passionate about the benefits and what we make as a union carpenter, right? We're just in the second year of our 5-year contract. We've got 3 more years where we're going to get raises over the next 3 years. But one thing I always talk with my groups about is the supplemental retirement fund, right? And to give you a little bit of perspective, that account started back in 2000. There was only $1.50 going into it, right? You all probably learned in your orientation or in your first classes that currently there's $10.35 an hour going into it for commercial, residential, somewhere around $7 an hour, right? So it took me 15 years to get up to $73,000, right? I can go back and look at the historical returns through the John Hancock website, and since October 1st, 2025 was the 10-year anniversary that they switched to that provider, I was able to do a 10-year history of my returns. And so it's interesting that these students that are completing that have been in for 3 to 4 years, there's some that have over $73,000 in 3 years, right? So I forget who it was, who had more than the 73. Remember there? Okay, so it was the last group that did, but there's a couple of you that are close, right? In the 60s, I believe.
69, 50, like that.
Yeah, so 69, right? So close enough to 73 where it took us 15 years to get that. Y'all are getting it in 3. You know what I mean? So project that out over the course of your career. there's a chance that you could be retiring and having a few $1 million in that account, right? Currently, my balance, yesterday it was 448,000. Today it dropped down 5,000 bucks to 443. I don't sweat that, right? I'm not worried about it because I'm not going to withdraw that money, right? You're going to hear from a lot of students, well, either students or journeymen in the field of, you know, oh, you want to buy a house, just withdraw from your John Hancock. Oh, you need to buy a new truck, withdraw from your John Hancock. That's affecting your retirement over the long-term growth, right? So the factor, right, if we do some math, going from 73,000 to 443, right, is about 6 times, right? Not that I'm counting, but I have about 12 years and 8 months till I retire, right? If we take another 6x over the next 12 and a half years, that's roughly $2.4 million, right? And that's 2.5 years longer than the 2015 to 2025. Going back to 2015, there was only $3.68 an hour going into that fund. You all are starting when there's $10.35 an hour, right? So that growth that you all can experience is going to be huge. I just urge you to not withdraw it, right? I run a budgeting class here as a skill advancement class. It's intentionally the shortest class to get the bag of free stuff with the sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt, t-shirt. I don't see anyone in here that has one on. Sometimes there is, but right, it's intentionally the shortest class that you can take to get that bag of free stuff. Well, why is that? Because it's a budget class teaching you about how to save money, right? So if I could go back down the road, right? So what's the dumbest thing that you've spent, right, with the money, either when you got a raise or at any point in your career, right? Well, what do you look back on now and say, oh, I shouldn't have spent that money on X?
I bought a brand new vehicle, 2025.
Okay.
Anybody?
No.
Is anybody in general?
No, just your in general money that you've earned, right? Your paycheck money.
I don't know, I'm cheap, but when I spend money, I like to go to music festivals.
Okay.
So,
I wish I didn't spend as much money on my wedding.
Ooh. Hang on, I don't see your wife here, so we're good. We're good.
just watch.
A new vehicle and then it's going out more daily.
Okay.
My jet ski, but I don't think that's stupid.
If you can afford it, no, it's not, right?
Yeah, probably my new vehicle.
New vehicle, okay.
I haven't bought anything.
Okay.
I'd say a new vehicle is definitely expensive.
For me, spend my Blackhawks tickets.
I've been pretty good with my money. I don't really.
About the house?
Yeah.
That's not stupid. That's not house.
Only thing dumb I did was, went to the club and bought a $400 bottle.
Hey, Josh says that's cheap. Well, you gotta go bigger.
I would say just in a vehicle as well.
All right, cool. Right, so to put things in perspective, right, everybody talks about, oh, well, I work in carpentry, so I need a pickup truck. Really want to get something that's used, that's going to be good on gas, right, that is not brand new. You hear about all these students, right, that kind of regret buying that new vehicle. Right? I'm not saying that you can't have a nice vehicle, right, but when you buy a brand new vehicle, the depreciation of it falls off like a rock as soon as you drive off the parking lot, right? So I want to open it up to you all. Any questions that you have for the completing group? Right? Don't be afraid.
Don't let the journeyman or anything on the field pressure you, because I will say, I hear a bunch of times, guys will say, oh, pull your annuity to buy your house. You're an apprentice, so if you're a first-time home buyer, pull it out. No, let that grow. Your time will come, let that money grow, see you at the end, and you won't regret it.
Anything before we open up to the new groups for questions?
Always have all the tools you need to come back. I missed something on my first day. I forgot what it was. It was really stupid. I haven't missed anything since, but it always worries me to make sure, I get in my car, I got everything, I check my sheet, my QR code, because it gives you a QR code to see your tools. Don't forget it, they don't play on that. They do not play on that.
I can't speak for everybody here, but my own company, the environment was very toxic. There's a difference between being yelled at for being an apprentice and being yelled at by someone who's disrespectful. You gotta know the difference. you know, there's only so much a person can take, and if it's to the point, speak up. Because I took time off because I wasn't mentally right, and I took like 6 months off.
Thanks for that, right? So speak up, right? We've got benefits that have some great mental health therapy out there. Use that, right? I've been in counseling. We're exposed to things that we're not built to deal with, right? And it's always important to talk to the professionals, right, that are getting paid well to, right, talk to us and help guide us through those experiences, right? So yes, know the difference between just some banter, right, and some real harassment, right? Don't take it. Talk to your steward on the job if there is one. Talk to your VAs, right? Call the coordinators here. Share your experience with them and let them help you, right? Anybody else like to add anything before we open it to the new students?
Yeah, if you ever get laid off, don't take it personal. It's just part of the industry. It's up and down. So, Husnick, he said it a lot. Try to save your money if you can, because for that downtime, you're gonna need it. I mean, some of us get unemployment, some don't, or just try to do something outside of work to help you offset your income.
Right? And another one would be, right, if you do get laid off, right, know the difference between you're working on a job and you can see that there's gonna be work in a couple days, right? Say some material didn't show up, there was supposed to be a delivery there that just doesn't make it or something like that. That's a different experience other than you're getting close to the end of a job, you're wrapping it up, and the company says, oh, hey, we don't have anything for you in a couple days, right? Give us a call on Monday. Should you file unemployment that next day? Yes, instantly, right? Because you have to get your wait week out of the way before you start getting benefits, right? So just make sure that you file right away, because a lot of times a week can turn into a month, can turn into 3 months, right? So know the difference between something that just didn't show up in a delivery, right? So make sure that you can decipher between that difference, okay?
An hour commute per day on average.
Oh, excellent.
How's that treat you?
Not
It
terrible.
is what it is, man.
I don't mind.
You gotta pay for gas, you gotta keep
It's not
going, man.
normal.
We get paid good, man.
I get per diem, we stay at hotel.
You got kids? Yep.
I do. I just had a kid.
That doesn't wear on you? That extra
It
time?
sucks a little bit, man, but you know what? At the end of the day, my girlfriend's staying at home, and no one's gonna pay the bills for us. So I driven an hour and a half to work before. Imagine coming home. That's going through 294 traffic. I'm down to Wisconsin. It sucks.
294 is brutal.
It sucks. It sucks, bro. You know what? Just get through it, man. That's all.
How many in this group has kids up here? Okay, how's our insurance for that?
Awesome.
Right? Have you all gotten the HRA card, that Optum Financial? Right, and you're using that, you understand how to use it? Okay, right, so some of you, those of you that are in IS1, you probably got the vacation fund paid out this year because you had some hours before June 30th, so you got a little bit of that, right? So that's another benefit, right? The other one is the clinics that we have, either through Lyle, which is the Carpenter's Health Clinic, or the Coalition of Labor Clinics, which are from Grays Lake to Northbrook to Elgin. We mentioned the Lyle one, it's the Carpenter's Clinic, Joliet and Utica. Those are all free for anything that you need done. Just a couple weeks ago, I was sick and I went to both the Northbrook and the Grays Lake one, right? Feels really good to walk out of there with the medicine in hand that you don't have to pay for, right? Because it's all covered through our benefits, right? Talk to some of your friends and family. Ask them how much that they get withheld off their paycheck for their health insurance. Ask them how much they got to pay out of pocket. You all are going to have all that covered through that card, right?
How many of you are completing on time?
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So the ones who are not completing on time, is that because of not coming to school or
Lack of hours.
lack of hours?
Push back 3 months for lack of hours.
Lack of hours?
Sometimes your foreman will ask you, hey, skip class, stay here, we need you right now. No, you gotta look towards your future, go to class. You'll be back next week.
I got a big question.
Where?
how do you think they could improve the program as it currently exists?
Some pads on these seats, man. More shop time, I think, would be awesome. I hate going from hustling all day to coming here and sitting in the chair. It's rough.
I heard they're changing it and they're adding stuff like mutes and some other stuff to it, so I think that's going to be better. Like I remember doing heavy gauge framing classes and soffit classes, and I remember getting to the class and just being like, I already did this like a year or 2 years ago in the field, so like I already know how to do it. So I think it's good that they're adding more certification stuff to the course.
You guys got a solar class in your new curriculum, don't you? Is that a thing?
The concrete form builders do, the general construction and interior system do not yet.
In Illinois, we are pushing the solar work. So if you guys don't have your certification in that, it might be something to take a CSAP class for those of you finishing the program, just so that you have that option.
Largest amount of carpenters I've worked with is probably around 150 when we did a high rise for a law firm. Money wise, I don't know how many tons of millions they bid it for, but there was a job we had like 60-foot studs, 12 gauge, 10-inch wide. To ballpark it, I cut probably around 800 to 1,000 of those studs. That's probably $3 million worth of studs that I cut. So.
Cut any at the wrong number?
No. So if you get any jobs like that, that's something you can't mess up. You know, if you cut, say, like 30 of them wrong, and then you notice you're out like 100 grand. So.
I was at a job in Virginia by Richmond. Building data centers. There's probably a couple hundred data centers there. My job site that I was at had like 4,000 people working on it every day.
The Oklahoma Library, they're doing a lot of work there too.
Yeah, I'm down in Louisiana now at the Facebook data center that's going up there. It's 5 miles long by 1.2 miles wide. 8,000 people.
How many square feet?
It's a lot. It's 3,200 acres.